everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to film a colouring chat, life update. I was going to sit down and colour this anyway, so why not sit, film and talk to you. So I've already done this, the skin and the hair. The hair I did not last video, the one before, with the polychrome rose pencils, and then I did the skin with the Prismacolor, which that video should be up. That was just a little quick tutorial on how I do a quick skin tone, because I was not in any mood to sit there and layer and layer and layer. Anyway, so I'm going to do a very light distress ink background. I don't want to go overboard with any dark colours, purely because of all this detail around here, and I will really struggle getting to this side where the spine is, because I've banded it. I didn't think about that, did I? So I'm just going to remove this tag and I'll just put it on the page behind for now. And I've just got, it's not paper, this is like a thin plastic, and I use this to protect the page behind. And then I've just got a piece of paper, and then I put it in a plastic little binder, and I'm using that as well. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to go with this, I've got to be honest. I've pulled out quite a few different distress inks. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to use these quite vibrant yellows, but I'm just going to keep them to one side. But I'm going to start off with the antique linen, I think. The antique linen, and then we'll go a bit darker with this scattered straw. And then I'm going to try a little bit of this one, which I don't even think I've used yet, the old paper. Where, to me, if it was old paper, it'd be more like this colour. So, I don't understand that naming. Anyway, what I use with the distress ink are these blenders, and I've got these in a couple of different sizes, so I do want quite a small one. If you do hear anything in the background, my son is doing himself his dinner, so you might hear stuff in the background. I'm looking for just one of the small ones. No, here we go. Just in case I needed a really, really tiny one. Have I got a smaller one than that? No, that's the smallest one. But I have got... I did clean these the other day, but some of them, you know, I just think they're stained. I've used the black with that, and I have washed them. So we'll see how we go with them. We'll keep them 3 brushes out for now. And I'll move this all out of the way, and then we'll zoom in a little bit, and then let's get started. So let's see how this lays down. My idea is because the hair is so vibrant, and I want to make these quite vibrant as well. I just want to dull down the background a little bit. I don't want it to stand out, but we'll see. So we'll start off with this antique linen, if I can even open it. Start off with the smaller one, not the smallest, but the smaller one. Let's see how we get on. And I spill it on myself straight away. So, stuff that's new. First of all, I'd just like to say that I was thinking to myself the other day, and somebody was talking to me about it. I think it was my mother-in-law. She was talking about not being able to go to the hairdressers, etc, etc. And she likes going there to have a chat and catch up with them. And I was just thinking to myself, and I actually spoke to Kirsty recently about this, that I can't think of anything worse than sitting, I've just realised right after, than sitting in the hairdressers and then talking to random people that I don't know about my life or about my personal life. But then I'm sat here and I can chat away and talk to myself and talk to you, and I feel like I can. But whereas if I was in the hairdressers, I'm sort of the opposite. Not necessarily hairdressers, but when I used to work as well, before I had Isabel, I was quite quiet in my job. I don't think I'm a people's person. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I don't really like the way it's coming off this, so let's try let's try this scattered straw. Yeah, so I think if as soon as I turn the camera on, I can say what's on my mind. What else is really new? The only thing that can come to the top of my head, I had a bit of trouble last week with my daughter's nursery. This was last Tuesday, now it's Thursday today. Is it Thursday? No, it's not, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday the 27th, so last Tuesday, so a week ago, I get a phone call. Oh, she started going now, 9 o'clock till 3 o'clock, which is brilliant. Her carer has to leave at 2:15, but the other staff members help to look after her all together for that 45 minutes from 2:15 till 3 o'clock, which is fine, and she's, you know, she's behaving. But I get a phone call at 2:30 on Tuesday, and it was the head teacher, and I thought, oh God, you know, what's happened now? Is she kicked off? Is she upset? And she said that because Isabel was classed as being extremely clinically vulnerable, or is it clinically extremely vulnerable? It's one of the two anyway. So I got, before that, I did get a letter in the post to say that Isabel was that, which we did disagree with, because she's not got any heart problems, she's not got lung problems or anything like that. It's purely down to the fact that she's got cerebral palsy. We've got sent this letter out. So yeah, so the head teacher brings me up and says, because you've been sent that letter, we are not covered on the insurance, so basically that means Isabel can't come into nursery. And at this point she'd only been there full time for 3 days, I believe. I think it was the Friday before, and then the Monday, then that Tuesday. Before that she was finishing early, and even before that they were off nursery into school. So I'd only really just got her back into nursery, and trying to get that child thrives off routine. She really, really does. If there's a change in her routine, she does not. She doesn't cope with it very well, and it's not just that. For my sanity reasons, I need a break. I need a break from her. I'll be honest, and I've been honest with everyone, my family, my friends. I've sort of said I need a break from her, so I can do the things that I need to do and want to do while she's not here. So yeah, so I wasn't happy about that. I was pretty upset, because I sort of said to the head teacher, well, I was under the assumption that it was down to the parents. Well, it's not. Apparently, to do with the insurance company, it's not down to the parents. So then I had to ring, I don't even know how many people. I tried to get hold of a paediatrician all that day, all the next day, leaving messages with his secretary, and he finally rung back after my husband left a message. And this seems to be the case. I leave tons and tons of messages for whoever it is I'm trying to get a hold of, and they don't get back to me. Whereas if my husband rings up straight away, they ring him back, or they contact him. So anyway, so the paediatrician rings my husband up. This is like a couple of days after. It's really hard to get hold of him. I tried to get hold of the doctors, like the GP, to just get them to write me a letter to say that she's not extremely clinically vulnerable. She shouldn't have been in that category in the first place. You know, she's no other problems apart from having cerebral palsy, which that brings me to the next conversation that we'll have when this one's finished. I'll spill that on my fingers again. Get a cloth. Yeah, so the paediatrician's run my husband, and he's explained everything to him. He's explained the situation in the nursery and blah 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 blah. And the paediatrician said word for word that insurance from the nursery is a load of rubbish, and it shouldn't have been sort of taken into account. Isabel isn't under this category, and I'll happily write a letter to say that she's not in this category. She can go to nursery, it's safe for her to go to nursery, etc, etc. So the next day after that, my mother-in-law kindly drove down. Our doctor's is about 30 minutes to 35 minutes walk from my house, because I don't drive. I do walk there, and I've walked there quite a few times, but my mother-in-law kindly went down and picked it up and dropped it off for me. So then I emailed it over to the head teacher, and then she said, yeah, that's fine, I'll pass it over to the insurance company, the relevant people, etc, etc. So she was back in nursery. This was on the Tuesday, and she was back in the nursery on Friday. So she had a couple of days off, and them couple of days, I'm telling you, were a nightmare, because she fully understands when it's the weekend, Daddy's home. When it's not the weekend, I'm meant to be at nursery, Daddy's not here, he's at work. So for them 2 days, it was difficult to say the least. So I couldn't wait for Friday to come, although I didn't know it was going to be Friday until Friday morning. Yeah, so that happened, but she's, like I said, she's back in now. Hopefully it's all sorted and that won't happen again. That's the last thing that we all need, but I believe that they do break up for half term as well. I think it's the 13th, so they've got a week off then. I'm hearing some things as well. The kids were meant to go back to school, weren't they, middle to end of February, so my son. And I've been hearing and reading a couple of things that it's going to be more like Easter time now, which is what, April, end of March, start of April, which, you know, it's fine for my son, but if anything, he's probably done better doing the homeschooling, because he just really dislikes school, he always has. I'm just wondering about these little gaps. I'll go in with a slightly different colour now. I really don't like that first colour, which was antique linen. I'm wondering maybe it's just going a bit dry, that one. Let's try this old paper. Yeah, so the other thing is I got another email last night, late last night, about 9:45 last night, and I won't say who it is, but there's certain people in Isabel's care and to do with schools and stuff, but they need basically a consent form signed for me to say that Isabel can have reports done on her, etc, etc. So I need to get that printed out, signed, and then emailed back over to them to say that yeah, they can, because they need to go out to the nursery and basically do an assessment on Isabel and try and understand whereabouts mentally she is. Now, this is probably one of, if not the most important reports that she's going to have done. Number one, because we need it for her to get into a special needs school. We both me and my husband, when I say we don't want to go into mainstream. I know that kids can be cruel, I know that, and with how different she is, and you know, she can't communicate, she can't talk, it worries me. And the fact that, you know, they need specialist equipment to look after her. It's going to be very soon that she's, and at home, I'm going to need a hoist put in the house somewhere. I mean, we've already got a stair lift as it is, but I'm really struggling now. My husband understands this. We need to seriously think about our living arrangements and think about moving. We are saving and saving, but you know, these things aren't cheap, and especially under the current circumstances. I'm going to have to move that. It's not the best time to be moving at the moment. We've even thought about the room that I'm in now. If you've seen any of my tours, my like where I do my art and stuff, you'll see the way that this room is laid out. I'm in the corner of the dining room, like a corner table, with a dining table behind me, the bookshelf and the doors, blah 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 blah. And we've thought about bringing Isabel's room down here, so we'd not have a dining room anymore, but then I'd have to go upstairs into what would be her old bedroom. But in hindsight, there's probably no point in doing that, because we still need to keep the stair lift in to then bathe her. So what's really the point? The only thing that would stop me from doing is lifting her up to take her up to her bedroom in the afternoon, or like I said, bathe her. But with her being already upstairs, it's probably just easier to keep her upstairs for now and just struggle a little bit down here until we finally do move. Yeah, and the other reason that we want this report doing is we would like to know, for sanity reasons, whereabouts the specialists think that she's up to. Are they, I mean, she's 4 years old now, so are they going to say that she's like a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, which I know that she's definitely not going to be like a 3-year-old. To do with how she communicates, how she thinks about things, how she processes things. It'll just give us a little bit more answers to some of her behaviour that she does. Not necessarily difficult behaviour, just different. She's a lot different than Lewis was, but she will be with that condition. So I think that's enough of the background. I really don't want to go overboard. So let's put these away, and I'm just going to wet it. I have plugged the heat gun in already. I'll dry that, and I'm thinking about using the Karen markers on this to base it, and then just pop a little bit of shading over the top possibly. So I've just got my little spray bottle. It was literally £1 this from like a bargain store over here. I think actually it was marketed, this bottle, as like a hairdresser one. So instead of me moving it up and down, I'll just bring you out slightly. Just make sure my pages are definitely in place to protect it. So I've seriously thought about doing streaming again in the day, but I don't want to commit to that, number one, because I'm still, before anything, I'm still a wife, a mother, I've got jobs to do in the house, etc, etc. I'm sure you know where I'm coming from with this. And some days I don't want to talk, I don't want to talk to anybody. People that are close to me know that sometimes I even walk around in public with my headphones in with no music playing, just so I don't have to talk to anybody. That's what I'm like sometimes. Yes, that might be a little bit ignorant, you're thinking, gosh, I can't believe she does that. But yeah, that's what I do. I'm hoping that this ink doesn't run. It's not leaking very good there. I've used water in this, on this paper before, and it's been absolutely fine. I have to be doing that nice hair as well. Let's dry that then now. Sorry for the noise. So I'll get the Karen markers now out, move all this out of the way. That is more or less dry, I think. So I've grabbed my Karen markers. Now these are water-based markers. You can use them, you can paint them onto a palette, a non-porous surface, and pick it up with a brush that way, while they've got a normal pen in there. That shouldn't be there. Or you can just colour straight down onto the page, which is what I'm going to do today. So I have got a good selection of colours. I do keep them separately because this is more of my skin tones, and these are the neons, you know, bright colours. So I'm still undecided on what colour. I'm thinking purple. I am thinking purple. So let's get my little swatchy boot that I use just for testing colours. Look at that. That's a clear page-ish. So my purple, I quite like this one. Now these I didn't buy the full set of these. The only ones that I'm missing, that I think that I'm missing, are the greys, like the warm greys and the cool greys, which I didn't think I'd use that much, purely that's why I didn't. The full set wasn't available at this time. Anyway, I'm going off track. So I like that one. I think that's the lightest purple. I've got the more neon ones. That one's a bit dull. What about this one? This one's red lilac. Oh, that's quite nice actually. That's a pink. No, but I think I'm going to stick with the purple. I know that they're meant to be flowers, them, aren't they? But I've coloured enough flowers this month for my liking. Oh, I could do them like a nice navy colour. No, I'm going to stick with my original purple. Yeah, I am. let's move this out of the way. I'll start off with these areas first because I didn't go over with water, just to make sure. And again, I probably should have tested this paper, but it's not the end of the world. It's a colouring page, it's a piece of paper. So let's do this little area first and let's just see how it reacts. This might be streaky, I don't know. I haven't used these in a little while, to be honest. Let's just see how that reacts. That's not too bad. It's a little bit patchy as it bled through, but this is quite thick paper. Let's go over with another layer. That's better, that's more opaque, but it's a lot darker and it's still not bled through. So we'll just go ahead with that. In other news, I have been doing so much diamond painting, it is not even funny. What day were we? We was Sunday last week. I'd played the fitness game on the Switch, the Ring Fit game, that day. And then I'd done something in the house. I think it was a job that, you know, one of them jobs that you don't like doing, you only do them every now and again. I think it was the airing cupboard. I took everything out of the airing cupboard and reorganised it. And then that evening as well, from about 7 o'clock till about 10 or 10:30, I was sat at the dining table doing my diamond painting, the Hannah Lynn one, the Off to the Ball that I've been working on, which seems like forever because it is a big one. And the next day I could barely walk with my back. It was so painful. So it was a mixture of doing the exercise because I'm not used to it, because I don't used to do exercise apart from walking, and me sitting arching over the table. So last night I was again sat there at the dining table doing the diamond painting, and I was looking, I'd YouTubed Colour with Claire diamond painting because I remember she had that video and she was reviewing a table that went up and down. It was a motorised table, and it lowered, went higher, that sort of thing. So I've gone ahead and popped that into my wish list on Amazon, on my private wish list. And I'm going to start saving my YouTube pennies, and then when we eventually move, hopefully, soon, hopefully, well I say soon but it's probably going to be in the next year or so. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to save enough pennies because it's quite expensive. I think the cheapest one that was on there was £2.50, but it had a £50 voucher on. And then the one that probably would have done the best job was about £350, and again it had that £50 voucher on. But I couldn't have it in this house. There is literally no room, and I do love the desk that I've got now for my colouring. So the only way I can get a desk like that is if I've got the space, basically, if I've got a spare room. So I've got one area for my colouring and one area for the diamond painting. So that's the plan anyway for the future. But for the meantime, I've got this, let me find it, what it's called. It's coming today. It's like a back support pillow, and it's due to come today between 2:15 and 4:15. So, and it was £30. It's called a lumbar support back pillow. So I ordered it yesterday, and I thought at first that was a heating thing, but I sit here with like a heat pad on my back anyway to help, and it's strapped around the back of my chair because my husband said to me you might need another chair, not a more supportive chair, but I don't want to get another supportive chair. I saved up and paid for this chair. Interrupted by the dogs barking and my son leaving the house, of all things. So I do apologise if you heard that woof woof in the background. He's gone to the local sweet shop. They're all still open, so he's gone out for a walk to there. I actually left him in bed this morning. I usually wake him up and make him walk to the nursery with me because he doesn't get any other exercise apart from that. But I left him in bed this morning, and then when I got back I woke him up then. So he had a nice lie-in this morning. And then he's done his English what do they call it? A Zoom? I can't remember. The English thing with his teacher, and he's done the work on that. So yeah, he's gone to the sweet shop. So I've lost my train of thought. I think I was talking about my chair. Yeah, I bought this chair myself, and I built it myself as well. My husband was away at the time in America, so I built it myself. That's why sometimes when it creaks like this, that's because I built it. But you know what? I'm not having him messing with it because I'm proud I managed to put it together. It could have possibly already creaked anyway when he built it, because I'll be honest, he's not the best builder. I know my husband doesn't watch this video, but he won't mind me saying that. So yeah, I'm not buying a new chair, so that lumber thing should be back. Should be here today at some point anyway. I'm hoping it doesn't arrive when I'm out at nursery, but that would be sod's law. Of course it would be. Oh, and at the weekend as well, we've got a local restaurant, and it's I think it's classed as a steakhouse. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's classed. They do steaks on like hot plates, and they don't just sell steaks. There's other things. And my husband found out that they were doing a takeaway menu. So I looked at the menu, and there was nothing really that I'd fancied. None of the meat wise. But he said that they do a Sunday menu of a roast dinner, so I thought, oh, I bet that's nice. So instead of me doing all the cooking and more or less all the cleaning, the boys do the drying up. So we ordered one on Saturday evening. You have to order it the day before, and it was £12 per person, and you got to choose between, I think it was beef and chicken, so we both chose beef. And it come with the Yorkshire pudding. Now I don't eat Yorkshire puddings, I don't like them, I never have, but he loves them. So I said, right, I said, you can have my Yorkshire pudding and I'll have all your veg, because he doesn't like veg. He'll have carrots and peas and that's it. So I said, right, that's fine. So we went and picked it up, and the meat was, oh, it was out of this world. Roasties, nice, mash, nice, gravy, lovely. He had my Yorkshire pudding, so he had 2 on his plate. But the vegetables, I tell you, it was like, you know when you blanch some veg to freeze it, it was like they did that. So they'd peeled the veg, they'd cut it up, and a pot of boiling water in it, and they've just gone dip for a split second. It was rock hard. So there was carrots, there was peas, there was green beans, cauliflower and broccoli. All vegetables which I'll eat, I like, but they were all rock hard. I was so disappointed. So the next time if we do order from there, I'm going to do myself a pan of a full broccoli just for myself. Just for myself. And then just not bother with any of the veg. I'll just tell them we don't want any veg. Yeah, apart from that, it was nice. I imagine that'll be good when we're out of this lockdown finally. Like if you're out for the day, like if you're going walking for the day, we did that quite a lot. We'd go drive somewhere that takes us about 40 minutes sometimes. And it's a really nice walk, the place that we go. It's like a country walk. And then you've already ordered your Sunday dinner and you just pick it up on the way home. How good will that be? So I'm looking forward to doing that. They did have a kids menu, but both the kids don't really like roast dinners. So yeah, I really like that purple. I don't know whether it's clashing though with that yellow. I just don't want to buckle the paper, that's why I keep checking. I think that's everything that's new really. I'm hoping to get that diamond painting. I'm up to halfway up, and then I've started to go around the border at the top. So I've got a little bit of the left top corner to do, and then just the middle bit, like the main, like the princess in the picture, to do. So, but I'm giving myself and my back a couple of nights break. I think I might possibly pull it out again tonight. What I usually do is put it on the dining table, and my husband doesn't mind, and I'll keep it out for a couple of days just on the dining table, and I'll work on it every now and again. Otherwise I have to roll it back up and put all the drills back, you know what it's like. So I'll see what this thing is like anyway for my back. and if it helps I might be able to diamond paint tonight, but we'll see. Oh, the physios brought round the walker yesterday, so we are trying Isabel with a walker. If I remember, I'll try and put a picture in round about here somewhere of what it looks like, because when I say a walker, people have got different images of what I'm talking about in their head, so if I just pop a picture in, you'll know what I'm on about. But we tried her in it while the physios were here and she screamed the house down. But she did that with the standing frame. When we first started out in the standing frame, she screamed, and it took me months. It took me months of putting her in, even if it was just for 10 minutes, putting her in and out, and in and out. And she's a bloody heavy girl. She's a big. She's not fat. She's very tall for her age. Everyone says that. Where do you get them tall legs from? I'm average height. I'm 5'5", and I think my husband's 5'10", I believe, maybe a tad taller. I think she might get it from his dad because he's over 6 foot or 6'2", I think. So that's the only place that it can come from. So yeah, the walker. So I'm just going to have to persevere with it, I think. Yeah, just when I pick her up in a little bit, I'll have to pop her in it then. I usually get a change straight away, put her in jammies, just so she's comfy and cosy. And I think I'll pop her in it then, see how she behaves. Put her favourite program on TV, maybe even bribe her with some chocolate or some snacks. I've even got some mango in, I could try it with that. So we shall see. I'm really hopeful that she'll get it. But if she does get it, then God help these dogs, these two little dogs, they're gonna have to move pretty quick, I think, if she does get it. So yeah. But I'll be honest with you as well, I'm sick of this bloody lockdown. I'm absolutely sick of it. There's nothing more that I'd want at the minute than going shopping on my own, having peace and quiet and looking around the shops, and I can't do any of that. I can't like go and see certain family members. I haven't been to a restaurant with my husband since March last year. I'm just getting sick of it now. I really feel for the parents with more than 1 or 2 children that are doing the homeschooling. I don't know how you do it. I'm taking my hats off to you. I can barely understand the things that my son's doing at school. It's so much different to when we was in school. Even the way that they grade the work now is so much different. But he's miles better than me at English and whatnot, so yeah, he can teach me, if anything. Yeah, so these pens do look streaky with the one layer, but I've not had that problem really before, so it might be the paper. I'm not sure. This isn't my printed paper that I did at home, this is the set of art. I'll just take it apart and then put it back together again. So programs that I've been watching a lot of movies lately. I've watched all The Matrix, that was over the weekend, all 3 of them. Didn't enjoy the last one, it was too much about the robots in my opinion and not enough about The Matrix. And then I watched The Day After Tomorrow, and them sort of films scare the life out of me because it's well, number one because it's so realistic, and it just, this weather that we're having in the UK at the moment is just weird. I mean, last week we had the wind, and then we had like downpours for 2 or 3 days non-stop, and then we had the snow on top of snow. And then yesterday morning when I went out to nursery, do you know, like, have you ever done something you thought, I really shouldn't have done this? I took one step outside. Isabel was already in a chair, coat on, hat on. Took one step outside and I nearly slipped. I nearly went on my bum 1 step outside because it was that icy. It was unbelievable. And I thought, I can't go back in the house here, she's just going to kick off. And it took me a lot longer to get down to nursery that morning. But we managed it. and the pickup was fine. It was all more or less gone by the time pickup. But yeah, this weather that we're having at the minute it just scares me, because films like that with the global warming, the way that the climate's changing, I thought that would have bled through that. Yeah, it just scares the life out of me. Right, so I did colour this bit in. I did miss this out, and I did her eyebrows as well. It was Kirsty that pointed it out, so thanks Kirsty. It was that bit, so I did go ahead and colour that off screen. I just used the exact same colours. But this little bit here, that's definitely not her. Well, it's not her now. If it was, I'm pretty sure it's not. That is a lot more vibrant than I imagined, to be honest. So I'm going to have to darken that up a little bit. My drink, I've got a big pint of cordial. Yeah, that should be okay that night. She's coming out with some beautiful pieces of artwork, Mariella Budak. I think there's been 2 downloadable PDFs in the past week. I've downloaded one of them, and it was like £3 something. I've not downloaded the other one yet. I say yet. Let's see how long it takes me. It is a nice one. I think it's called Bridesmaid. But my goal for this year, colouring wise, I want to finish this book that I've more or less created. So it's got a set of art, and then it's got separate PDFs. Obviously, any other PDFs that come out now, I can't add to it because it's already burnt. I mean, I could take it apart and add a bigger binder, but I don't want to. I just want to finish this, and I've done, I think, 2 out of this one, plus this whip that we've got going on now. So I don't think that's too bad for 1 month. I don't want to do everything just Mariella Budak, because I'll soon get bored. So I'll try and change it up. And the other TV series that I've been watching is a programme called The Slap, and it's an Australian programme, but it's on a normal UK Sky TV. I'm going to let that dry before going over another layer. And I'm really enjoying it. I think there's 8 episodes, and I'm on it. Well, I'm going to be starting, when I start watching it again, episode 7, so I've nearly finished it. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's all about this man's barbecue. His 40th barbecue party, and his cousin was there, and family, etc, etc. And this kid was being naughty, let's face it. He was being naughty. And he was getting up to no good, and he was breaking things, and he was threatening other kids. He was only 4, and let me just add that he was still breastfeeding as well off his mum. Actually, he was still breastfed. He was quite he weren't told off. He weren't disciplined in any way. They made it a point of showing that he weren't disciplined. They showed the kids' parents' house, and there was like drawing up the walls on the windows. The furniture was all broken where he'd done this, that and the other to it. And he was playing cricket, and he had hold of the cricket. He wasn't a small 4-year-old. Until it said he was a 4-year-old halfway through the season. I thought he was about 6 or 7. He's that big. Anyway, he had hold of this cricket bat, and he swung for one of the other kids, and this other kid's dad ended up slapping him, hence the name, The Slap. And he slapped him across the face, and it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice at all. But it's all about the repercussions of what that did to the family, about it going to court, etc, etc. And I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. I know it's not a good topic, but I'm still enjoying it nonetheless. So once I finish that, I need another series to watch. Me and my husband don't really watch that many series together. He likes a lot more different things. He's watching Billions at the moment, which I've never actually sat down and watched, but when I've just glanced over at the TV, it doesn't seem like it'd be my cup of tea, but he loves it. So as long as he's watching it, it's that, you know, enjoying it, that's fine. We watch films together, but I can't watch a film over there and colour here at the same time. So I'm usually got a film on in the background, you know, listen to it, not necessarily watching it. That's what I did with The Matrix, and then every now and again I'll pop my head up and have a little look. I was hoping to get more than just the basting done on this, but I really don't think I'm going to be able to. What time are we on now? 1:30. Still need to prep tea. I'm going to do some dough and rye potatoes tonight, and I'm looking forward to them. Although I'm on a cut down, I don't like saying diet. I know that dough and rye potatoes are not the best for us because of the double cream. I just won't use loads. And we're having it with lamb. I'm really looking forward to it actually. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go with another layer. I'm really surprised that it's not bled through yet. So did anybody try my tutorial? I know Kirsty has, and hers has turned out bloody gorgeous, and she did it on Tantone paper, so it really does pop. Really good job. Just curious to see if anybody else has tried it as well. The good thing with these pens as well, you see on that side, you can actually see how much ink you've got left. I remember seeing Claire's review with these before I bought them. I think she sold them now. I'm pretty sure I saw them on that selling site. I'm sure it was Claire that sold them. You accumulate so much though with this hobby. You have to buy things to see if you like them, and sometimes you can't always send them back, and then if you run out of the time frame, you know. Well, has anybody got hold of the new Colour in Heaven? The Anastasia edition, the Mermaids one. It's gorgeous. It's really, really nice. I have already got them boots, but there is a couple of pictures that I've said previously that I would like to redo again because I weren't happy, and them pictures are in that Colour in Heaven edition. I didn't bother doing a flip through this time with that because there was already quite a few flip throughs up, and when you've seen one you've seen them all sort of thing, so I didn't bother. I'm going to leave these beads, I think. This one's slightly different. Yeah, so there was quite a few up at the time. I believe subscribers this month got it slightly earlier. I think it was a day earlier. I could be wrong there. Yeah, I'm going to leave them beads and these beads as well alone. So tomorrow I'm thinking of doing possibly either a colouring, it's not going to be a colouring chat, it'll be a whipping chat with the diamond painting, or I might just do a little time lapse. I've never done that with diamond painting before, so that could be interesting to see how much I actually get done in a couple of hours. And I think seeing it's being sped up would be quite fun actually. I know my channel's mostly colouring, but you've seen resin on here, you've seen other diamond painting. So I wonder how my little monster's got on this morning. Like I said, she wasn't a happy bunny when I dropped her off, but according to the staff, as soon as I walk away and she walks through the door, well, gets pushed through the door, She's absolutely fine. So I don't know what her problem is. She's like halfway up the hill. It's on quite a hilly hill, and you get halfway up and then she starts crying, and then you queue up to drop them off and she's screaming, she's hysterical, and then according to the nursery staff she's absolutely fine within a minute or so of me leaving, which is nice, isn't it? I think I'm just going to be able to get this base done. I'll have to go over the top with another layer later on, possibly tomorrow. When I'm not filming, I'm colouring in my own time, I think, gosh, look how much I've got done, look how much I've managed to do in that little time. But then when I sit here and film, I really don't get much done. It must be because I'm talking. I'm sidetracked. I think I'll possibly use polychromos on this area as well. And get a nice sharp point on them. Or maybe even the artisers. I've not used them in a little while. I think this area that I'm colouring over now is her. I'm pretty sure that that's her. No! Never mind. It's a piece of paper. It's not the end of the world. The dogs are going to probably be back very soon as well, because Lewis will be back from the sweet shop. I've still yet to convince him to do another video with me. He's not having none of it at the moment. I'm glad I went with a subtle background, because that purple is definitely bold. I think it'll look nice with lavender eyes as well. Oh, talking about lavender eyes, oh, I can't tell you how excited I am, and it's next year. We're in January, so I've got like another year and a bit for wait for the new Game of Thrones, the Dance of the Dragons I think it's going to be called. Oh, I really can't wait, I'm so excited. My husband's going to be shunned upstairs, no one's allowed down, I'm going to have the headphones on, I'm going to have all my favourite snacks. I'm going to have probably a bottle of wine at the side of me. I am so excited. Phone turned off. Isabel in bed. The dog's not in the same room, because if they bark while the dragon is on the screen, I'm not going to be happy. I love them really, but it's dead annoying when they do bark for no reason. If you've got a dog that barks, you'll understand. She knows what she's doing as well, the daft dog, because she tries to stop herself, and instead of making the woofing sound, it's a woof, like she's got her mouth closed. I think I might add some glitter to them beads. I'm wondering whether to colour like that in the end. No, I'm not going to do. I can always come back if I change my mind. Just this last little bit. And wish me luck for that back support. I hope it works, because if it doesn't, it's going back. So the rest of this I'll just finish off camera. It's literally just going to be, I'm going to have to go over the top of mostly all of this again, just to make it not streaky. I'll probably use some polychromos just to add a bit of shading, colour these bits, the eyes and the lips, and then she's going to be done. And then I've done 3 out of this book this month, and I'm really pleased with that. Really pleased with that. So if you did enjoy the video, then please do like it. If you're new, I'd love to have you stick around, so please do subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.